Hello everyone, hello Facebook. Am I live? I'm live. Hello, I'm Liz and I do live crochet tutorials every Friday right here on Annie's Facebook page. So I hope you can join me today because we have another fun crochet tutorial, and this is something totally new that I only learned since I started with Annie's, and it's called Waterfall crochet. So join me now and we're going to go over this really fun technique, and as you join me, say hello, and in the comments you can let me know where you're watching from, what you're working on, and as always, if you have any questions in this tutorial, just go ahead and ask me because I'm going to try to keep up with the comments as we go. So hello everyone, happy Friday. There's Itel and Rose is here, Sharon is here. Hi Marianne and Ilka, Janet are here. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. So let's talk about waterfall crochet. Jeanette is here. Hi Jeanette. So this is something kind of different, but it's really cool. And I did a I did a live on this a few months back. Hello from Sarasota, Florida. Hi Jamie. And it was really popular, and I think it's probably popular because it's something that you don't see a lot. So I wanted to repeat it because Annie's has a few different waterfall crochet booklets, and the one that I did last time were the granny squares. So you did the technique in the granny squares and you put those all together. And this one is an Afghan. And it's actually a booklet that has an Afghan, a table mat, and all different kinds of things. I'm going to show you just what I printed out because I didn't print out the whole booklet. It's a long booklet. But this is one of the ones I'm going to show you today. And apart from the booklet, they also have a class on this on Annie's Creative Studio. So if you want to learn how to do it, you know, there's a lot of resources there to help you. So my video, the Annie's Creative Studio, has a whole class on it. I think it's like a 3-part, takes you through every single step of the Afghan. And then there's the other booklet, which is the granny squares. So there's a lot of info out there. You'll definitely get this. And let's see, Apui Van says, so nice to see you. I am from Myanmar, Burma. Hello, nice to see you too. Thank you for joining me. And Amparo is watching. Susan's here. Greta, Terry, and Kathy. Hello, everyone. Kate says, hi from New Jersey. Hi, Kate. And Jamie says, I ordered the pattern for the waterfall granny squares, waiting for your yarn in stock. Yay! Yeah, that's a really beautiful one. It's so colorful. Judy says, hi from Florida. Marianne says, hi Liz. Hi Marianne. And Maxie's here. And there's my friend Frances. Hi Frances. Frances says, I have the granny's book. I love it. Well, so you have to show us some pictures, Frances. I know, I love that one too. Shelly, there's my friend Shelly. Hi, so nice to see you from Alabama. Hi Shelly. Michelle is here. And Theodora is here. Hello, Theodora. And there's Janet from Wisconsin. Yay! I'm so glad I have all my friends here joining me today for this fun crochet tutorial. And like I said, if you have any questions as we go through it, go ahead and ask those and I'll try to keep up with the comments. And I'll try to go nice and slow. I'm going to show you actually 2 different projects that are from this booklet. We're going to start out with like the simple one, and then I'm going to show you a couple of steps to another one, which is the table mat, which is a little more complicated. It has a little bit of different stuff in it. So let's get started. Hi, Veronica from Virginia, and there's Barbara. Hi, Barbara. And Linda's here. Okay, guys, I'm going to flip my phone. Joan from Myrtle Beach. Hi, Joan. Here we go. Sylvie's here. Hi, Sylvie. And Carol's here from upstate New York. Hi, Carol. Michelle is here. Hi, Michelle. Okay, so hopefully you can see me okay. Zoom in slightly. That's good. So let me show you what I started so far. This is the first one, which is from the table mat. But see all of these, how these stitches go down like this? I'm going to show you how to do that. But we're going to start out with a simpler one, which is, it's just a hot pad, okay? Sylvie says, hello from France, Paris. Hello, Sylvie. Nadine is here and Ada's here. So for this technique, you're going to have to use one of these long hooks like this. So you can use a Tunisian hook. I have one of these 2-sided. It doesn't have to be 2-sided. It just has to be long, and you'll understand why after we do a few rows of this, okay? So for the hot pad, I did 1 row, and the second row is exactly the same as the first row. So I'm just gonna show you the second row, okay? Because it's the same. So we did row 1 and 2. 1 was just the foundation, and then we're just gonna start, and this is so easy. This part is just like super easy. It's just double crochets. The fun part gets to when we change our yarn color. So we do double crochet in each of the next 6, right? And this hook can be tricky to work with. It takes some getting used to, but you'll see why we need it when we get to where we change colors and do the waterfall. And for these projects that I'm going to show you today, we only have to change the color once. So it's not like a lot of weaving in and stuff like that. Okay, so we just do 1 double crochet in each of these double crochets, right? And then we chain 7, because this is where we're going to work the waterfall over these chain spaces. So when you chain 7, make sure you chain nice and loose, otherwise it will pull in like that, okay? So nice and loose, chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Carrie says, hi from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hi, Carrie. And then I'm just going to double crochet in each of these double crochets. This hook really takes some getting used to for me. It's just not as, I don't know what it is. I don't love it, but like I said, when you get to the waterfall part, it's kind of essential. But you can probably, like with, I think it depends on the project too. If you don't go down too many rows with the waterfall, you can use just a regular hook. One that doesn't have like a grip on it or anything. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, nice and loose. And then just double crochet across, and then we're going to switch to a different color. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then double crochet in the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 3. Okay, so now actually I'm going to change my color, so let me not finish that double crochet. So I'm going to go with this, I'm going to use some of my leftover Encore worsted, and I'll use this bright red so you can see this. This will show up well on the camera. So of course I just add my new yarn right at the end before I finish that double crochet. Okay, so now, where are we? We are on changing the color, and then we're going to turn, chain 1, and single crochet in the first 7. So now this color is going to work its way down over those chain spaces that we made when we did the chain 7. Okay, so here's my chain spaces, and it says we're going to do a W4 stitch, and the first yarn over is going to count as 1, and then did I do enough rows here? Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to do the waterfall, and we're going to take it down to this stitch here, okay? So sometimes the instructions will have you take it to here, sometimes just to here, sometimes all the way down to here, and then if you have a lot more of these, it can take it all the way down to like the 6th row or something. So the first yarn over counts as 1, right? So if it says W3, so you're going to count over, that counts as 1. And then you're just going to insert your hook into that first chain space and then yarn over twice. Okay, and then pull it back to the front. Keep those 2 yarn overs on there and then insert it into the next chain space, yarn over twice, and pull it back to the front. And then once you get to the stitch, which is right here, you insert it into the stitch. So I have all these loops on my hook. Now we're going to have to work these loops off of the hook from the back of the work. So you just rotate it like this. And this is where you have to keep it kind of a good grip on it because it loosens up right here. So you just yarn over and pull through the stitch. That was the first stitch that we worked into. Now you're going to yarn over and pull through these 2 loops. So yarn over, pull through those first 2 loops. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through the 2 loops and the chain space. So here's the 2 loops. Here's the whole chain space, right? So yarn over, pull through both of those loops and the whole chain space, the whole chain. Now we're going to repeat that again. So yarn over, pull through the first 2. Now yarn over, pull through the first 2 and the chain. Like that. So now we're at the end and you see we have 3 loops on our hook. So now you can rotate it back and just finish a double crochet. So yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And then you just kind of push this over there. So let's do that a few more times. Hi, Tamara says, I'm here. Hi, Tamara, I'm glad to see you. I know you're on your lunch break. We're doing waterfall crochet today. And Carol's here, Debbie and Evelyn are here, and so is Elena. Okay, so let's do this again. We're going to do the exact same thing that we just did. So first you do the 1 yarn over, okay? Then you go into the first chain space, yarn over twice, pull it back to the front of the work. Then go to the next chain space, yarn over twice, pull it back to the front of the work. Now where's my next stitch of this row, which is right here. So insert my hook into that stitch and then I'm going to rotate my work so I'm sort of working from the back. And we're going to work off all these loops. So yarn over and just pull through the first stitch. And then we do yarn over, pull through 2. Whoops. Drop that guy. So pull through the stitch. Hopefully I have enough. Yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2 and the chain. 1, 2, and the chain. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 and the chain. See what I mean about it getting kind of loose there? And now I have 3 loops left on my hook, so I'll just finish with the double crochet. So yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And there's my next one. Let me see if I have any questions. No questions so far. Sarah says hi from Florida. Hi, Sarah. And there's Patty, Patricia, Lizzie's here, Letty, Camp, and Malika and Susie. Okay, so I don't see any questions yet. So far so good, right? Looks pretty. Let's do a couple more and then I'll show you the one that gets a little bit more complex. So that's the first yarn over. Now we're going to go to into our chain space. Yarn over twice. Remember to push it to the front of the work so you can go into the next chain space and yarn over twice. And then back to the front of the work to go into the stitch. And then rotate your work so you're working these loops off from the back. So first you just yarn over and pull it through the stitch. And then you start the yarn over, pull through 2. So it's always yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2 and the chain. Like that. So then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 and the chain. And then we're down to the last 3. So we just treat that as a regular double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So it's like you're changing the colors, but not really changing the colors every row. You're just working down like this. So this one is just going to be straight across, so it will be like checks, or, you know, I guess checks is the right word. But the other one that I have is a little bit more, there's sort of more going on, because with some of them, you're only going down to here. Some of them you're going all the way down to here. Some of them you're working into a stitch, or you're anchoring it to the stitch. Like what I just showed you was anchoring it to the stitches. Some of them you're anchoring to the chain. See, like this one is anchored to the chain as opposed to being anchored into a stitch like this. And it's basically the same thing. So for this pattern, it starts out like this. So you work these first rows, and then you do what the waterfall instructions say. And then you see how I made all these chains? I'm going to show you part of this one. So this is basically what I just did for the last one. I just did whatever the instructions said. So this was like a chain 3, and then more chains, more chains, more chains, like that. So you have this triangular looking thing. So I'm going to change to the red again, just so you can hopefully see this better. So let me just get rid of this tan color. And we'll just work the red into here. So now as you can see also, the cool part is we worked all of the first 7 or 8 rows, whatever it was, just with the same color. You know, we just worked the stitches and then turned, worked the stitches and then turned. So you don't have to worry about changing color. At the very end is when you change your colors, like like I changed to the tan. So now for the first one, we're just going to do it right to this first stitch. So we'll do a yarn over, get rid of these tails here. These tails are in my way. Okay, so do our first yarn over, insert into the chain, yarn over twice, come back to the front, and see we're right at the stitch. So we only had to do that once, so just go right into the stitch. Turn your work around, yarn over and pull through that first stitch. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and the chain. And then we're back to 3 loops on the hook, so we can just finish our double crochet. And then there's some skipping. So with this one, like you just do 1 double crochet to there, right? So I think it's like that. And then we would skip this stitch. So whenever you work one of these waterfalls, you have to remember to skip the stitch down. So that way they all line up the right way, okay? So let's say we skip that one, and then we're going to yarn over, insert, yarn over twice, bring it back to the front, yarn over twice, bring it back to the front, and then we go right into this stitch. So yarn over, pull it through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and the chain, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and the chain, and then just finish the double crochet. So now, the only difference here that you're doing is how far you're going down, right? So and the instructions will tell you how far to go down with each waterfall stitch. So just make sure you're following the instructions, and if you have to go to a chain or if you have to go to a stitch, I'm just kind of showing you these, so I'm probably not following the instructions, but make sure you skip where you need to skip. So let's say we just did a double crochet here, and now let's say the next one said to anchor it to the chain. So to anchor it to the chain, you're just going to do your first yarn over twice, bring it back to the front, insert your hook in the chain space, yarn over twice, bring it back to the front, and now we're going to just anchor it to this chain instead of going all the way down to a stitch. So you just go across that chain, yarn over like that, and then pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and the chain, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and the chain until you have the 3, and then you just do your last double crochet. So it's all either anchoring to a stitch or anchoring to a chain like I did here, and it's basically the same thing. So yeah, that's it, and then you just keep going as the instructions tell you. Like I said, make sure see, I wasn't really skipping in the right place, that's why it looks a little wonky here. But each stitch that you do up here should have a corresponding stitch down here, so that way you're working into every stitch. If it's like all the way over here, and you know the next one is, you know, what, like doesn't seem like it lines up, make sure it lines up. Make sure you have every stitch accounted for all the way down, so that way everything lines up, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. And of course you have to move them like this to get them straight. So let's see if I had any questions about that. Watching. So I have lots of friends watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope I explained it right. And Patsy says, hi from Canada, Patsy's Crochet. How did you start this? And Sue says, hello from Oregon. How many chains did you make? So it's all going to depend. Okay, so how I started was kind of like this one. It's really easy to start. You start with your first color, and then you just work your like your foundation single crochet, and then the next thing you do is just whatever the instructions say, because they're all different. You work double crochets followed by usually a large chain space, so like a chain 7, and then you skip the 7 stitches, and then you work another double crochets, and then another chain space, and then whenever you make the chains, you skip the you have to skip the stitches below, and double crochet. So all of the beginning rows are super simple. They're just chains and double crochets. As you can see here, I just did chains and double crochets with chains and skipping, but it's just different amounts of chain. So 3, 5, 7, whatever it was, like that, to make the and this chain area is what you work the waterfall stitches over. So that becomes like the, I don't know what you would call it, like almost like the canvas to anchor all of these waterfall stitches onto, like the bottom of it or the base of it or whatever. And then this row, see, as you can see, this row is all one row. Even though these colors came all the way down here, this was just one row that I worked. So hopefully that makes sense. And then for this pattern, you just go with this, and then you start it all over again. So once you're done with this row that did all the waterfalls down, you go back to the gray, and then you do your base of double crochets and chains again. And then you switch again to the next color and do the waterfalls. So how many chains did you make? So Tamara, it just depends on which pattern you're working on. And really it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be any sort of multiple, to be honest. I mean, the way this technique works, you can use any multiple that you want. You just have to have some chain spaces to work these waterfall stitches into. So Diane says, hi from Tennessee. I'm a new member here. Diane, you're a new member. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for joining me. And we're here every Friday at 12 noon Eastern on Annie's Facebook page. And I do a new tutorial every single time. So make sure you join me every week if you can. And if you can't, of course, we have the replays up on the Facebook page. Patsy says, I love this stitch. And Jacqueline says, hi from Chicago. Tam says, neat stitch. And Patricia says, what is the whole thing called? It's called Waterfall Crochet. And Annie's has a couple different, let me flip my phone so I'm not like talking to, to nothing here. Annie's has a few different waterfall crochet booklets and also classes. So this booklet is, I think it's just called Learn. Yeah, this booklet that I use today is called Learn Waterfall Crochet. They also have a class over on Annie's Creative Studio, which is a 3-part class that goes through a waterfall crochet afghan. And they also have another booklet, which is Waterfall Granny Squares. So a lot of different resources if you want to learn more about this waterfall technique. And I have another video too. If you go to the Annie's Facebook page, I did a waterfall crochet a few months back. So you can go ahead and watch that one too, or you can always watch the replay of this one. And next week, of course, is for the holidays. I won't be here, but I'll be back the Friday after, okay? So every Friday, as long as it's not a holiday or something insane happens, I will be here at 12 noon. So I hope everyone had a fun time today. We'll be back December 4th for the block party. So make sure you join us for that. You know, those are always fun. We do a block, an afghan block. We do it step by step together. It's a crochet along. And I love doing those. So make sure you join me on December 4th for that. And I hope everyone has an excellent weekend and a great week next week. And I'll see you next time. Bye.